with so many great people on the Business Central community. This is the last session, so we will try to do it in a casual style and fun. That's our style, isn't it, Madeleine?
It is casual.
It's okay. And try to finish before 0 o'clock because the weekend is almost there. And let's start. So here we go. Our session is called Business Centrals and Power Pages Rocking Together. This is my partner Madeleine. That's me.
Hello.
Okay, and first of all, thanks to all the sponsors that made this event possible. And let's go quick to the session that is called, as I told you before, Business Central and Power Pages Rocking Together. She's Madeleine, so please introduce yourself. Yeah.
Quick intro. My name is Madeleine Elliott. I work as a Power Platform and Dynamics consultant at Madrid in a company called Bravent. I'm half English, I'm half Swedish. I also speak Spanish. Mostly work with model-driven apps, Canvas apps, Power Automate, and Power Pages, which is what we're going to look at today. So I'm hoping that everybody has still got some energy left to learn. Raul.
Okay, so that's me. I'm Raul Bogajo. I work with Madeleine as a Power Platform and Dynamics 365 consultant at Bravent. And here you have my Twitter, my LinkedIn, and my email. I will share with you my contact details at the end of the session, so you can reach me for whatever you need. I live in sunny Mallorca on the Balearic Island, so if any of you come here to the island and want to share a beer, feel free to reach me. Okay, here in Mallorca, we have a small Power Platform community that we have some events and we are running some events on the island. So we have a Twitter where we inform about the events, about the stuff we are doing. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, Power Platform Mallorca, feel free to do it. We'll be happy to if you come to the island and join one of our sessions or want to meet with me or some other people of the Power Platform community in Mallorca. We are all very friendly people and we'll be happy to share some time with everyone. Okay, so let's go to the session. And first of all, I will tell you about what's going on this session. Okay, so the session will cover like a business case scenario. We are show you how to develop a vendor portal, like a proof of concept, okay? So think about Cronus, a well-known company for all the people that work with Business Central, is thinking about developing a web portal where its vendors can connect in a secure way just to inform about the product, about the rates of the product that they want to offer to our company as we are Cronus, okay? Once that the supplier and the vendor or supplier entered the price on the portal, the Cronus purchasing team, the person purchasing department, will review those prices. That is a task that we'll do on the ERP in Business Central, check the prices, and he is going to accept the price from some vendor that is best suites for their needs, okay? So, and Cronus, as already told you, use Business Central, know that Power Platform rules. So they thinking about using a killer combo that is pushing Business Central data to Dataverse, and they heard something about Power Pages, so they want to try that cool new feature, that cool new member of the Power Platform suite.
Yeah.
So that's a killer yeah, so that's a killer combo that really rocks as more rocks, almost like thin Lizzy and Phil Lynott. Okay, not so much at Phil Lynott, but it's almost there. Okay, so what's the agenda for the session? So we just starting about share with you a brief description of the solution architecture. Then we'll check very quickly all the ways that we use on the development of the POG, the ways we have to integrate Business Central and Dataverse, and then Madeleine will take control. She will show you how to shape, how to develop this cool vendor portal. Okay. First of all, here we go with the solution architecture. Okay. What we need to begin the cooking of that. So we need a Business Central environment, and we are going to need a Dataverse environment. How can we get a Dataverse environment? If we already have in organization a Power App license, okay, we will have Dataverse. Also, if you have deployed in your environment some Dynamics 365 sales or any other or customer engagement or whatever, you will have a Dataverse environment over there, okay, on your tenant. Any case, just for the POC, if you are just an organization or you want to try just starting with Business Central in your tenant, you can have a Power App Dataverse environment for free if you apply for a Power Apps developer plan. Okay, that's pretty easy. If anyone can do it, you just Google Power App developer plan, and then you can set up your account with an account for your domain, and you will have a Dataverse environment when you can try to make cool things with Power Apps, Power Automate, and all that Power Platform stuff. Okay. The solution architecture. Okay, first of all, we need to shape the data model. Okay, for all the people that work with Business Central, some of these tables will sound pretty familiar. Okay, so I will show you that we are using the vendor table. Okay, the item table and the contact related to vendors. This is and currency. Okay, these four tables are all standard tables that are on the base application of Business Central. The only custom table that we developed for this solution, for this POC, proof of concept, okay, is portal purchase price. This portal purchase price is like a middle table in which table we are going to store the prices proposed by the vendors, and we will check on that table on a page related to that, and if the price is okay for our company, we'll accept the price, and then we can execute all the business process logic that generates the purchase price on the standard tables of Business Central. Okay, so this is the data model on the Business Central side, and we need to push this data onto that Dataverse. Okay, so on Dataverse, the only thing, well, the thing we did is just replicate the data model, but we use as a good practice, we use the already existing Dataverse table. You know, when you deploy a Dataverse environment, you will have I will show you. Maybe it's better. Just some people not familiar with Dataverse. Let me check. Okay, if you go to Dataverse, you will have some tables deployed there. Okay. And they have some standard tables based on the common data model. This is another thing that we can be talking almost an hour more, okay? But keep in mind that when you deploy in a database environment, and you sell it and you deploy it with a database, you will have some standard tables over there. So I was telling you that because we don't need to create tables in Dataverse that we already have there, okay? So for our solution, we will use the account table in Dataverse. You know, the account table is like the table when we store all the data from companies. You know, in Business Central, we have customers and vendors. We have two separate tables for companies, but in Dataverse, we have the account table that will storage all the customers and all the vendor records. We don't have this difference in two tables, but we have an attribute on the table that says that a record is a customer or a vendor. Okay. So in Dataverse, we also have the table contact. Okay. That is a standard table from Dataverse and is already related with account. And the only thing, currency, sorry, is also a standard table. And we set up two custom tables on Dataverse. This is VC item and portal purchase price. As you see, the replica, the data model of Business Central Database is almost the same, okay? So for the people that is not familiar with Dataverse, we just pack this in a solution, okay? Okay, it's called Business Central. vendor portal, okay. And as you can see the tables over here: account, contact, currency, portal item, purchase price. As I told you, account, contact, and currency, they are standard tables, okay. And portal item and portal purchase price are two custom tables we created just to support this data model. We established some the proper relationship between the tables, and we have our data model, our table just set up just to go through our POC to develop the portal. Okay, we have this data model. So in both places, in Business Central and in Dataverse. Okay, so the next thing is just to integrate the data between the two environments. We need to push data from Business Central to Dataverse, and then get data from Dataverse back to Business Central. And we have a lot of ways to do that. And we'll go through all these ways. Okay. Which ways do we have? We have the Dataverse standard synchronization. Most of you, maybe you have heard about that. In Business Central, we have a out-of-the-box functionality that we can establish a connection between Business Central and Dataverse, and it's pretty easy. Just go into the assistant to the assisted setup, look for the Dataverse connection, and it's a pretty straightforward method. You go step by step, establish the connection. I'm not going through this very detailed because you have it all on Microsoft documentation, but you have this out-of-the-box functionality, a Dataverse standard synchronization that synchronize. I will show you later some of the standard tables of Business Central. We can use Power Platform data flows. I will show you later how we put that piece here on our solution. We can use Power Automate, and for sure we can use the virtual tables, but they are still in preview. So we are not going to talk about virtual tables in this session because they are still in preview, and they also are not working right now with Power Pages or portals. They are not supported right now. Okay, so we can use virtual tables with Power Pages at this moment. Okay, let's go through. Okay, about the Dataverse standard sync, as I told you, that is pretty well documented by Microsoft, and it's a pretty straightforward process. The only thing you need to know is that if you have already set up this synchronization, it works like it works pairing records. You know, you have a record. The record exists in Dataverse, and the record exists in Business Central, and they establish a pair between the GUID of both records. You know, this pairing can be bidirectional, unidirectional. Sorry, the integration can be defined bidirectional, unidirectional, and you can start in which way you want to synchronize the data. Okay, I will show you right now. It's pretty easy. This is equal to a vendor card. This is already synchronized. Okay, and if you have the synchronization just set up, you can go to any of the tables that are synchronized with Dataverse, and if you go to related Dataverse, okay, you can open the Dataverse record. Okay. But you can see here, setup coupling. Okay, okay, you see here how the record is coupled with the Dataverse. Okay, it's only that you need to understand that this synchronization works like coupling records, and the record exists in both systems, in Dataverse and in Business Central. So you have a record is duplicated, and okay, I'm repeating the same, so I will move forward. Sorry for that. Okay, okay. In virtual tables, that's not the same scenario. In the virtual table, you can access to your table in Dataverse, but the data is still in Business Central. But I'm not going more deeper in virtual table because it's out of the scope of our solution. Okay. So as I told you, this synchronization is pretty easy to set up, and you already have this table: contact, currency, customer, the payment terms as an option to Dataverse. Okay, this is the table that you have already synchronized with this is out of the box functionality. This is a cool option here that I want to notice, and is that one. When you are defining the integration, as I told you, you can set it up bidirectional, okay? But this property is important. Sync only coupled records, okay? If you have this check, okay, you need to manually couple the records. So you need to go, if you create a new vendor, you need to go here, to related Dataverse and synchronize, okay? Or no, sorry, coupling, okay? Set up the coupling. But if you deactivate this property, okay, if you create the record in Business Central, you don't need to make the coupling in a manual way. It will be doing automatically, okay? Okay, so 2 points just to notice that you will need an admin user to connect to the Dataverse environment. You will notice that, and this is an advice that the assisted process told to the user. You need an administration account, and it's important to take care about the currency, okay? Because you want to set up the integration between Dataverse and Business Central. The Business Central local currency must be the same as the base currency defined in Dataverse. So if these currency are different, this currency code, you are going to have an error and you cannot synchronize the two environments. So that's a thing to keep in mind about about this thing about the currency. Okay. I will move forward because we have too many things to do. If you have to go deeper in some of this stuff, feel free to reach me after the session or whenever you want. Okay. Okay. As you see, this is standard synchronization. Okay, it works perfectly out of the box for these standard tables I showed you, like customer, vendor, and all the show you in the previous slide. But you can also sync custom tables. Okay. But this is, you can do it, okay, but it requires development effort, and it's painful. It's painful in the way that you need to write a lot of code. But you can do that. You can also synchronize tables that are not defined in this out-of-the-box functionality. Okay, this is well documented by Microsoft on this link we have on this slide. And if you have any experience developing with Business Central, is something that it can be done, but it takes a bit of work. Okay. Okay. So another way to integrate data between BC and Dataverse is to use Power Platform data flows, and this is a really good option for data integration when the data volume is not too high. Okay. We can also use in data flows. I don't know if any of the people know, maybe someone know about data flows. I will show you right now. Data flows, the Power Platform data flows, most of you maybe have heard about Power BI data flows. This is almost the same, just the difference is that we are not using the data that we are integrating just to analysis purpose. We are using just to push data from Dataverse, okay? So as I told you, it's a good option for data integration. We don't have too many data. We can use Power Query to apply transformations on the data source. Okay, we can schedule the execution, so that's pretty cool because we schedule and we can be refreshed our data in a daily basis or whatever we need. And we can also manage upserts defining a proper alternate key in the Dataverse table where we are pushing the data. I will show you right now in a minute because this is, I think, is pretty interesting. Okay, I will go to Dataverse. Okay. Here on Dataverse, if you go to, okay, here on the make, here now we are here in make Power Apps, okay, in this URL, and we go to the Dataverse option, and we have see data flows. This is we have here one already data flow defined for our solution. Okay, as you can see, we have a schedule for this data flow, we can see, so refresh history. We can check that it's been executing daily, no problem, all succeeded, okay? So as I told you, it can be scheduled, okay? Okay, so we use this data flow just to push data, to push the Business Central items to our table in Dataverse, okay? I can show you how to do it. It's pretty simple. You show like a test, okay? Create. And the bad thing about Power Query, about Power Platform Data Flows is that we don't have the same connector that we have in Power BI. In Power BI, recently, a Business Central native connector is what's available for Power BI Data Flows, but we don't have it on the Power Platform Data Flows. So if you want to push to get data from Business Central in a Power Platform Data Flow, we need to go to Online Services. Okay, no, sorry. To start it just getting the data from the API. Just to show you, I will paste the URL. Okay, we have this is an endpoint for a Business Central API. Okay, I don't know if it show you, but this is an endpoint that we have defined it in Business Central just to get the data from our items. Okay, URL. Okay, you need to log with the organizational account. Okay. Next. It takes a little time to connect. Let's see if we get the data, but you know, yeah, okay.
Tell a joke.
Yeah, you can tell a joke, man. No, here we go. Okay, what I want to show you, okay, as I told you, we have Power Query, so that's pretty cool because we have our data here. Okay, I only need those columns. This is pushing the data out from Business Central, not pushing, getting the data from Business Central. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I only want to keep this column. You can do any more complex operations with Power Query, but here is pretty simple. We go next. When we ended our transformations, and here's the interesting part about integrating data to Dataverse using. Here it goes. Okay, you can load the data to a new table or load to existing table. Okay, I don't recommend this option, load to new table, because the system will generate a table and you don't have any control about the name of the columns and about the publisher. Okay, the publisher is this prefix that you have here when you create a Dataverse entity or Dataverse field. Okay, you don't have any control. So I think it's better option just to create the data in Dataverse and then load the data to an existing table. Okay, that's my point of view. Let's check where is this data. I can't remember the name. It's called like BC or something like that.
MYN or something.
You remember? Do you remember the name?
There we go.
Madeleine. See, the bad thing about it that you cannot write.
MYN, something like that.
Yeah, so it should be already.
Yeah, MY.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I came away. Okay, we have it here. Okay, but okay. So this is the table we created on our solution. Okay. Okay, and I don't finish the project, but the cool thing about that you can map to this is the source column. This is the column that we have defined it with Power Query, and we only need just to. I don't know if I choose the proper table. I can display name, value number. Anyways, no worries. Okay, you can map the fields, the source code for the destination, and then this is very important because if you want the data not to be duplicated, you want to manage upserts, you need to select the key. The key you must have defined this key on the Dataverse table as an alternate key. Okay, and in this case, just to have no duplicates whenever the data flow process runs. Okay, we need to indicate like the primary key we have defined in Business Central for this table. In this case, should be BC item number. This is a unique ID for the Business Central for the item in Business Central, and we are saying in our data flow that this is related to the alternate key we defined on the table. So the data flow, when it runs, will manage the upserts. In case we don't have defined the alternate key on our table, we don't have associated with the Business Central key, the data will be duplicated. So this is pretty important if you want to integrate data and have no duplicate. Okay, I will cancel like that. This is a lot of stuff, but you just keep the idea about how you can do that. Okay. I will delete this data flow. Okay. What about the alternate key? I can go to the solution. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Loads all the solution. Okay. Okay. In this table, portal item, that is the one that we are going to, that we are getting data from the data flow. You go to keys, you can see that we have defined here the alternate key. Okay. So that's pretty important if you want to use data flows for data integration. Be aware of the final alternate key and be aware of indicating this, of indicating properly with which field for the source is related, just to get no data duplicated. Okay. Okay. That's it for data flow. That's already what I told you. And I go verify and go. Okay. So another easy, and right now it's finally in GA, is the Power Automate. You know, it took more than 2 years to get rid of this preview label on all the connectors and actions for Business Central in Power Automate, and finally we have it in GA. So that's pretty cool. So we can use it in production with no worries at all. Okay. And using Power Automate is a good option for integration based on users' actions. Okay. What I mean, this is my point of view. If you need a more robust integration or more complex, it's better just to look to another solution, maybe Azure Logic Apps or something like that. But just for basic integration that are based in an action that a user will do on our system, Power Automate is great. In that case, we use Power Automate. I was too very sorry. We'll go back to our solution. And we'll end right now in my part. Okay, in our solution, we use two flows. I think I have open here just to save some time. We use 2 flows. One flow, just as is pushing data from Dataverse to Business Central, and you can see it's pretty easy. When we add a record in a table in Database, in this case, is the portal purchase price, is the table that gets all the data that the vendors introduce in the portal. Okay. We apply some steps here, get item, get account, and then we create a record in Business Central. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And it is based in a user interaction. The user interaction is when the vendor enters in the portal, as you will see right now in a moment. When they introduce a price, this price is already will be already until the time that the flow took to execute, but this price will be on Business Central. Okay. And we have another flow to get the data back to Dataverse. That's pretty easy, and you will see it right now when you see when you see all the solution in motion. Okay. The only thing we do here with this flow, we set up a HTTP request. Okay. So this is a flow that will be triggered when we make a HTTP request from Business Central. This pretty simple code in AI. I will show you right now. Is when we approve a price in Business Central, we will call to that trigger, to that flow, and we'll update the row indicating the price ID and indicating that the rate is accepted. Okay, so that's pretty similar. When you see the portal working, you will have the whole picture of that. Okay. Let's move forward because I don't know. Okay, I think we have time, Madeleine. So sorry if I take too long.
You're good on time. No, you're
yeah,
good.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, to get the big picture. Okay, so you can see we are very creative and so I'm used to and use the easiest way to integrate data between Dataverse and Business Central. So for vendor contact, we already use the standard integration. We have this out-of-the-box functionality, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So we use it just, and we have vendor and contact synchronized in a native way with Dataverse. The same with currency. With item, as I create, we can do it. We don't have this in the standard integration, but I think we have a company, they don't have so many records on items, so we use the Power Platform data flows. Okay, the Power Platform data flow is scheduled to run in a daily basis. Okay, so it's running daily. We'll populate to Dataverse all the items that we have defined in Business Central, and in case we have modification in a description or something like that, we will also be replicated to a Dataverse table. Okay, and then from pushing back the data from Dataverse to BC, we use Power Automate, and this is the last flow that I saw to you. Is just when from, okay, I don't know if this okay. Yes, okay, from Dataverse to BC. This is the first flow. Sorry, when someone introduces a portal purchase price on Dataverse, the data goes to the table in Business Central. Okay, so before Madeleine to control, I will show you all of this in motion, and then Madeleine will show you how to save the portal. You know, we made the way of getting our data or our Business Central data in Dataverse, and it opens up a lot of possibilities just to save a portal like the one you are going to see right now. So go back to the browser. And here it go. I will show you the browser, and then Madeleine will show you, I will show you the portal, and then Madeleine will show to you how the portal was made. Okay, so you can see it's a portal we already created. I can sign in as a vendor, okay? Okay, this is completely secure, okay? And then after Madeleine will show you how the security is implemented, okay? And now, as a vendor logged to the portal, I can go to check the item rates, and I see the already existing item rates, okay? And I can add a new one, okay? As you can see, all this data, I can show you right now, is in Business Central, Portal Purchase Management. I think it's that one, okay? This is the data, but you might, this is all the prices that has been offered by the vendor. You must take care that the vendor here, the user will be only seeing the information, okay? And the Business Central part will see all the vendors' information. Okay, so you want to add a new price, we can add a new one, okay? Add a new price, but publishers, portal item, we can check another, yeah, this power cord, okay? Select. This is the Business Central item list we populated. We can 120, line discount percentage like 10%, minimum quantity for the discount, so 100 units, and starting unit, okay, whatever. This is the starting date for the rate. That is proposal the vendor, okay, and description. Some silly thing, okay? We submit that sprite, and now, okay, now the Power Automate flow that I showed you first, it's running, okay, and we'll populate the data to Business Central. It takes some time, okay, because we are working here in a CDX environment. It's not a production environment, so it takes a little longer than in production, okay. And if we refresh here in a while, in a moment.
Now we should be telling the joke, shouldn't we?
Yes. Let's see, it takes a little long to execute the flow, but in a moment we will see the price right here. I can tell you right now that we can, check this out, this item. When we are reviewing, just to not do so many times, at the moment that we are reviewing as the purchase team of Cronus, we are checking the prices offered by different vendors. Okay, I think okay, the price okay, I will accept it. Okay, I can go here. This is a little function that we made just to accept the price. Okay, at the moment we accept the price, we are going to call the other Power Automate flow that writes in Dataverse that the price is accepted. Okay. And in this moment, we can implement in AL, because this is a process for the ERP. This is ERP functionality. Here we can apply the logic that generates the purchase price in the proper Business Central table, using the same new purchase price functionality or the old one, whenever needed. But here is when you need to put some code to translate this price, introduce as long as you accept it to the purchase price table in the standard purchase price table in Business Central. Okay, validate this price. Okay, professional. Okay, and this float. Let me refresh to see if we can see the new item. Okay, here you have too cool for school. Okay, you have it here. Okay, let's see if the other product go back and accept it. I think it was that one, loyalty discount offer. If we go back to our portal, I think that we should refresh, not Madeleine. The cache in portal is a pretty bit annoying. Okay.
Yeah, you can try and refresh and see what happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a
Let's see. Okay. Well, I can't remember which one.
This is the two school for bottom.
Yeah, the two,
second from the bottom.
Yeah. Okay, but we are not going to lose any time because it works. We can see later when I will just validate the too cool for school, and then this is not easy to forget. So action, validate price, and so long as you took control and show the portal, we can see. Oh, sorry, I just put in the same, this one, validate price. Okay. And we'll say later that you can see this item on the portal. That's it. It's already accepted. Okay. Okay. So that's my part, Madeleine. That's your time to shine with the portal development. That is the coolest stuff about that.
Thank you. Let's pray to the demo gods that it's going to work. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen? Give it a moment.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. This. Okay.
Yeah. We are.
All right. So once Raul has done all the magic, and I now have the data in Dataverse, I have lots of really amazing tools available to me. And the one we're going to look at right now is Power Pages. And it's new. It's more than just a face wash on portals. It's going to be much easier to use for everybody, even if you've never done anything like this before. The first time you go, you'll get a welcome, and Microsoft will ask you what kind of level of experience you have. You're going to have a quick little question, and with that, it's going to give you a few more hints, suggestions within the designer. And there's lots and lots of information in the designer that we're going to have a look at in a minute that's going to make everything very centralized, very easy to find out what to do. So the next question we get asked a lot is, how quick is this thing? And it's quicker than Power Portals. I set up a small website yesterday, and I think I timed it, and it was live in maybe 7 minutes. How does this work so quickly? Well, Microsoft is going to give us lots of templates. Right now, there's only 3 templates, but we're promised more, and it's going to let you build a website that suits your business needs. It's going to be fully responsive very, very quickly. While we're talking about it, I'm just going to remind everybody so we can kind of recenter what it is that we want. We want to surface some data. We're going to be looking at the portal prices for the vendors. Who do we want to see this? So we want to control it to make sure that only the vendors see it, and that public visitors don't get to see this perhaps sensitive information, or competitors. And we want to know how we want to be able to control how these vendors are able to interact with their data. So we don't want them to be able to do just about anything. We want them to do what we want them to do. This is what the design studio is going to look like, which we're about to visit in a minute. And we're going to see very quickly that it's a very similar UI to, if we're familiar with make.powerapps. It's lots and lots of similar ideas, and I think it's going to be very quick to learn if you've never used it before. It's quite intuitive, and what we're going to do is we get a what you see is what you get type of editor. So, well, let's visit it and have a look, shall we? Let's see if we can pop over to the thing. Oh, checking out something here. Here we go. So when we first get to Power Pages, which is up here, the URL, we have a home page, which is going to list the sites that we've got, and there's ours. This is the one that I created in maybe 7 minutes. There's templates, and we're not going to go into it today, but there's lots of areas, lots and lots of hints from Microsoft to find out where to find more information. Here we've got hints from them, suggestions of what we can do next, and we would hit edit to get into the site. I already had it here, so we don't lose any time. So this is the website that we just saw. We have a few main areas here on the left that is going to be where we're going to be working. And here we have this menu on just next to our design area, which is reflecting the navigation that we have at the top of our web page up here. So there's lots of easy ways to control this up and down. What we're going to do is we are going to add a page. We're going to name it. What we're going to name it, vendors BC, let's say. And as soon as we get in there, it's already giving me a section that I can populate. It's already giving me a suggestion of what I want. I know I want to show a list, which is a table. I already have it created here, but for the first time, you can create a new list. You tell them the designer straight away where you would like that that information to come from, and ours was called the portal purchase price. That's the table in Dataverse that we're going to be using. And from Dataverse, we already have available the views. These are the standard views, so we can pick one of those. And of course, here you saw that it was a multi-select. We could have more than one of you available on the portal if we chose. And then I can give a name, perhaps a name that's more suitable for mine. That's my name that I'm the reference to this list within Power Pages. With this list, or what is the equivalent of a table in Dataverse, I can see, I can configure which type of interaction is going to use which kind of form, which kind of, if I want to direct the person to another web page, for example, I'm going to stick with the form. And then I can pick which form the user is going to be able to create or view or edit the record. In our case, I'm going to use this form that I've already set up, which is create. So this form is referencing the main form in this case that I have in Dataverse. And the last part that we're going to look at is the settings. This is the number of records that I'm going to be showing in my table before pagination takes over. And I can enable a search. This will give a little search box at the top of that table for the user to pop in a name if they wanted to, if they have lots of records, for example. And I'd press OK and I would create that list. Right now, as I already had it set up, I am going to pick the one that I already had ready. And as of now, the element, much easier than portals, can be edited from here. Permissions can be edited from here. Lots and lots of things. Forms and views can be edited from the designer. There's no more hopping back and forth endlessly to Dataverse or into the model-driven app that is created with the Power Pages to control all the files that are to do with the portal. Lots of things to be able to do here very quickly. We're going to look at permissions in a minute, but let's see where we are right now. Pressing preview, I can either choose the desktop, which will open a tab here, or if I wanted to check how it would look on my device, I can use the QR to check it out on my mobile phone. So it's clearing the cache and it is showing me right now. it's showing me that page that I was working on, the one that I've just created. We can check by checking the URL up here. It is the vendor BC that we just created. Now, why isn't it showing me my records? I've just said these are the records I want to show. Well, the way I have the permission set up at the moment, the way it is automatically, is that there is no table permission enabled, which means no one can see anything. It is secure from the beginning. I have created a table permission that allows Ray from Nod Publishing. As he is a logged in user, he can see the records that are associated with his company and only the ones associated with his company. The real key with Power Pages is that I have all of the users are going to be a contact record within Dataverse, and I am linking the relationship between the user, the portal user, and certain records. Go into that in a minute. Let's pop back over to the designer, and we're going to talk about permissions. At the moment, I have this permission active. If I deactivate it, let's go over to all permissions. We'll see that, let's have a look. We'll see that the same page that we were just on, now, even though Raymond Hillard is logged in, he no longer has rights to see any of the records. What is this about? Well, this is because right now he is lacking the permissions. So let's go back. Let's have a look at, we'll activate this again while I'm talking about it. Let's have a look at the permission. Now, for those of you who have worked with portals, this new screen is going to be a relief. It's all central, it's all together. It's got a few ideas about the interface that is similar to similar ideas within Dataverse and Dynamics. Much easier to, with one glance, see what permissions are available. So this new table permission, we're going to call it vendors BC. And the table, again, we name the table we would like to give permission for, which is the purchase price. There's numerous different kinds of access that we can give the portal user. Global access is all of the records within that table. Contact access is that we name a relationship between the contact record and, in this case, portal purchase price. And we're going to take advantage of that relationship to filter out the records. The user would only have access to the records where they are named within that particular relationship, within that field. What we're going to be looking at today is account access, which means that the account that is named on my portal user is the one that we're going to leverage to filter out only the records that have that person's named account within them. Self-access is only for your own, the portal user's own record. For example, their profile record on the portal, for example, if they could go and edit a picture or something. So we're going to go with account access. It's going to ask me which relationship do I want to take advantage of, and it's going to name the field where or the column where I'm referencing the account on the portal purchase price. So if we want to recap, we said which data did we want to surface? Well, the portal purchase price, and we only want to surface the records related to my portal user. And we also said, how do we want to allow these people to access the data and interact with the data? Well, I'm going to let Raymond Hillard do quite a lot. I'm not going to let him delete, but here I can control exactly how the people can interact with the data. Now we get to the biggest question within the Power Pages, which is who? Who can have access to this table permission and therefore access to this data? Well, Microsoft give me from the beginning out of the box 3 roles. And what we're going to do is we're going to package up all the different permissions, if we have more than one, into a web role. and we're going to assign the web role to the contact record. And this is the magical bridge that ties in the user with what they're able to do on the Power Pages. These three roles that are given to us by Microsoft. The first one we look at is anonymous user. This would be a public visitor to the website that is not logged in. So you could potentially expose data to somebody. Perhaps in this case, Cronus has a catalog of products that they want everybody to see, for example, the vendors. So they could have a reference table. In this case, because we want filtered information and we want to verify who is the contact, we're going to use authenticated users. This means a logged in user. An administrator shows you that it would also be a logged in user, but somebody who you could assign a separation there, a differentiation between different logged in users. And of course, we can make our own web roles. We could have a vendor web role and a master vendor, and we could allow some people to interact with the data perhaps a little bit more and some people perhaps a little bit less. So I'm going to let these people use this permission and I save. And if the demo gods are kind, we're going to once again press preview, clean the cache, come back to the table that we created, and I'm very conscious that we are short on time. Once again, Raymond now has his permission, and too cool for school is now a rate that's been accepted.
So the flow works.
The flow works. The flow works. The permission
I know
works.
that it will work.
Okay, so if we let's have a look. If we go back to the PowerPoint, this is the data. We're filtering the data. It's much more intuitive. It's all lots and lots can be done from the design studio that we couldn't do before. And it's the magic of using these table permissions and web roles to assign the contact some kind of access to that data and ability to interact. And that is how it worked. That's the Power Pages for you. And I hope that was informative. It was very quick. We're very short on time. Raul?
Okay, so that's the main idea. Yeah, no, I understand, completely understand. Okay, so what's the conclusion about that? As you see, Business Central loves Power Platform. You know, we have a typo over there. We write platform, not platform. So I realize about that right now. But anyways, okay. So as you can see, just pushing the thing or the idea of the session is just what I think that we must push value of this session or this talk. We are just think about how many time it will take to develop a traditional web application completely securized with security, set it up, okay, yeah, secure, okay, and accessing your business data. Just put on the balance how many time, how many development effort, and how many money. And in this scenario, yeah, and the maintenance, okay, all the infrastructure that you need, okay, and think about how long do we take to make this POC, Madeleine? It took us not more than 3 or 4 hours, maybe. We are not joking about that. Yeah. So
and
think about
that was
it.
Including the styles and the photos and the iframes
so,
and the other things I put in.
Okay, so I think that the idea that is that when we are extending functionality on Business Central, we should always look to Power Platform. We can ignore that, and we cannot still doing things in a traditional way, just developing a lot of EL code, because Business Central right now is part of the Dynamics suite of Microsoft, and is it's very, very, very close to the Power Platform. And just getting the Business Central data, integrating with the Power Platform, allow us to do stuff like this portal mail with the brand new Power Pages. So if you want to add anything, Madeleine?
No, that's it. It's Power Apps are very versatile. Once that data is in Dataverse, I think the world's your oyster. many things, many possibilities.
Okay. So I think thanks to everyone, thanks to every attendant to the session, and thank you all, and thank you all the event organization to give us the opportunity to be here talking about Business Central, Dataverse, and Power Platform. Thank you all.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you, Raul. Thank you for a great way of wrapping up this past 2 days boot camp, showing people how to build a vendor portal using Business Central and the Power Platform there. And I think what you've also done is you've kind of emphasized a lot of what has been said throughout the past 2 days on this boot camp, which is essentially how to leverage on the local capabilities and off the Power Platform. And that's essentially what you've done today. So first of all, well done. Congratulations. Round of applause for both Raul and to Madeline for that excellent instruction, tutorial and presentation, guys, and wrapping up this boot camp. So great to have you. It gave us a last leg of energy to get through to the end. Many of the people here have been non-stop for the past 2 days now, so I just want to thank you both. In terms of questions, I'm trying to see if there's any questions here. I think the only question I can see is from Jotsner, who's asking about for Business Central on-premise, preview is only available with Power Apps and Dataverse. Is it possible to have a real-time Canvas app? It's not directly related to this particular session, I don't believe, but I believe it may be linked to the integration scenarios you covered, Raul.
Yeah, I think that if you are working on-prem, I think that if you still have a Business Central on-prem, my first recommendation is just to think about moving to the cloud, okay, and to have a real time Power App connected to on-prem. I think is not possible because you need to push back to get and push the data back through an API or something like that. In Business Central SaaS, on the cloud, when the virtual tables are already in general availability, it will be pretty easy to build a Power App using virtual tables with can do in real create, read, and update and delete operation on Business Central in real time. So
Roberto says cloud first.
yeah, cloud first. That's all. So.
Yeah. I think in Canvas apps, there's a business. I've got it in my head. I haven't done it, but I think I've seen a Business Central connector.
Yeah.
So Canvas app would be a really good way to go. Also, more development.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. We have the connector to on-prem. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So there's so many options that you've shown today, guys. Different ways of doing it. So it supports different architectures. So based on what's more suitable. So definitely, guys. So really excited, really beautiful way of ending the bootcamp, to be honest, guys. So thank you so much for that today.